Hello, everyone. Before I start talking about week 2, I would like to remind you, if you've not already selected your dyslexia reading strategy for week 7, please do so. If you already have, thank you very much. I also would like to talk about the strategy presentations. There are 2 in this course, and you're going to upload 2 short videos for the reading lessons presented in a real classroom setting, either to an individual student, a small group, or a whole group. These presentations, you're going to do one in week 4 and one in week 6. The material that you use needs to be nonfiction. It does not need to be from a textbook, but it needs to be nonfiction. Students must have assigned parental consent, permission to video. Access to the videos is only available to me on Moodle. A brief reflection on the lessons and use of strategy, including what should we look for, what should I look for when I'm viewing the video. Please look at the rubric for the precise requirements. Your video cannot exceed 10 minutes. At the 10-minute mark, I stop the video. So you've got to get it all in by 10 minutes. A second long-term assignment is an annotated bibliography, which is due week 5. Using the standards or themes, topics, content statements from your content area, you're going to develop an annotated bibliography of 15 books of varying levels. These can be books you would have the students read or books you intend to read aloud to your students. Read as many of these as possible. The annotation should be at least 3 to 5 sentences telling about the book, and if you read the book, an additional few sentences addressing your response to the book, your sense of its potential and appeal and suitability for students and classroom use. If you did not read the book, you need to give credit for the source of the annotation. And remember, everything that you write is APA 7 style. The bibliography, should have a separate section for each content area. Within each section, books should be in alphabetical order by the author's last name. This is due week 5. Your dyslexia assignment is due week 7. And I'm going to look at that more next week. You can certainly read ahead and start thinking about it. That would be fantastic. Now, on to week 2. This week, you're going to be provided the opportunity to acquire or further develop your knowledge or skills when it comes to vocabulary instruction, including which words should be taught before a reading assignment, the aids to understanding, provided charts, graphs, pictures that go along with expository material. Techniques for building student interest and motivation in informational text. The relationship between reading and writing and how to use writing as a tool. Writing questions to encourage thinking at various levels of comprehension. Understanding the definition and strategies that support the instructions of students with dyslexia. And understand the definition and instructional strategies for dyslexia. Assignments. You're going to read chapter 4 in the Chapman and King text. And chapter 4 is differentiated models and strategies of reading. You're going to look at the 2 PowerPoints and a short passage on text structure. You're going to be explaining the importance of understanding text structure in nonfiction and informational texts and how it aids in comprehension. How do anticipatory activities build background knowledge, and why is that critical to comprehension? Oh, well, this says post by Tuesday. That is incorrect. It is Wednesday. And you to respond to a classmate's post by Saturday, not by Friday, as it says here. So your initial post is going to be Wednesday, like usual, and your peer response is Saturday, as usual. Then you're going to have a written description of the video strategy presentation 1, which is due week 4. This is due by Friday at midnight. What you're going to do is post the topic as the name of the strategy you are using and your name. For example, if I'm using the KWL chart, I'm going to have KWL, Misty Flowers. And in the body of the post, I'm going to give a description of the setting in which I'm going to teach this strategy. So for example, I would write, I will be making a KWL chart with a small group, 5 second graders, prior to reading a selection about whales. As we read, we will fill in the L portion of the chart. The actual video presentation for topic 1 is due week 4. Please review the week 4 video details. The only thing you're turning in this week is the written portion that tells me the strategy and the description of the setting in which you will use it to be teaching. Now, I know that you're asking, where am I going to find these strategies for this video presentation? You're going to use the Tools for Teaching Content Literacy, the flip chart by Janet Allen, the purple one. And you're going to look at the Assess and Build Content Knowledge. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 strategies there to choose from. Again, you're looking at the Tools for Teaching Content Literacy by Janet Allen, the Assess and Build Content Knowledge Strategies. Here is the rubric for the forum. Please make sure you look at that. The PowerPoint presentation is the 3-part learning framework model where you are getting ready to read, during the reading, and after the reading. It describes this framework, talks about vocabulary, and strategy instruction. You have to introduce one strategy at a time. You model it yourself as you explain it. Practice first as a class, then individually. And at first you're going to use like guided instruction until they become comfortable with it. Some strategies may be used in each part of the framework. So in other words, it could be a before, during, or after reading strategy, while another strategy may be unique to just before reading the text. The next PowerPoint talks about text structure, and it's really important for children to realize the way that informational and nonfiction text is laid out. They have to be able to tell the difference. This talks about that. Bear with me. This goes along with patterns of text structure. There's description, and the children know because the author describes a topic by listing characteristics, features, and so on. Characteristics are descriptive detail words: on, over, beyond. Descriptive adjectives. This tells you what it is and key things about the structure. You will want to hang on to this. Next, I want to talk about text features. Which are different than text structures. Text features are what you see when you open up a textbook. Bold print, highlighting, timelines, diagrams, table of contents, index, maps, graphs, charts. Those are all text features. Children have to be taught how to use those features in informational text. Forum 2.1 is understanding text strategy. You're going to explain the importance of understanding text structure in nonfiction and informational texts and how it aids in comprehension. And also, how do anticipatory activities build background knowledge, and why is that critical to comprehension? So there's two parts. And Forum 2.2 is where you're going to list the strategy from Tools for Teaching Content Literacy and a description of the setting in which you will use to teach the strategy. If you have any questions this week, please ask me.